Alright guys, the topic of today's lesson is solving or simplifying and solving inequality equations. Okay, so far we've done one steps, and so today we're going to just hit the ground running and break into solving multi-step inequalities. Okay, all the same rules for solving equations apply. So before I can solve, I have to simplify, and then I can solve for my variable. Okay, the only difference is that now we're going to have more than one solution, correct? Because inequalities have more than one solution. And thus, we have to graph them. Alright, so first one here, we've got my problem. 2 times n plus 2 is less than or equal to 14. We need to distribute the 2 in order to simplify. Okay, so I got to get rid of these parentheses and then solve for n. Okay, so multiply the 2 by both things. 2 times n is 2n. 2 times 2 is 4. Less than or equal to 14. Remember, we're just simplifying, so we're not messing with the sign at all at the moment. Okay, I'm going to treat this just like an equation to solve it. Now remember, there's only one special rule. Now think if you can remember it for a second before I say it. Okay, should be thinking of as a special rule for inequalities is that if I ever multiply or divide by a negative number, what do I have to do to the sign? Think about it. Flip it, right? Flip the sign, and the only time that you ever do that is if you multiply or divide by a negative. Alright, so in this case, I've got plus 4. So I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. Get 2n is less than or equal to 10. Now, I have a negative sign here. What am I doing? Okay, that's right, I'm subtracting. So I'm not multiplying or dividing by a negative, which means that I don't have to worry about doing anything to my sign. So the sign stays the same, so less than or equal to. Alright, to get n by itself, I'm going to divide both sides. It's 2 times n, so I need to divide by 2. Okay, so the 2 drops out, and we're left with n is less than or equal to 10 divided by 2, which is 5. It's going to be my final answer. And remember, even though I'm dividing, it's not a negative number, so I don't have to change the sign. But I do have to graph. So, start by putting the most important point, which is 0. That's our reference. Okay, and then the points that we're concerned with. Okay, so 5. Okay, it's less than or equal to. Okay, so remember, if it's got a line underneath, think about it. Which circle do I need? Open or closed? Right? The one you should be thinking about is closed circle. Right? It means that 5 is included in my solution. Okay, so 5. Now, test your 0. If I plug in 0, is 0 less than or equal to 5? Yes, so my arrow is going to be going toward the 0. Okay, so this is true, goes towards 0, means everything less than 5 is a solution. Okay, pause the video real quick. I want you to try the next one, and we're going to go over it. Okay, so I've got 7a minus 5 is greater than 3, parentheses, a plus 5. So 3 times a plus 5. Alright, before I can even begin to bother solving this, and what you should have done was distribute the 3. Okay, so I get 7 times a minus 5 is greater than 3 times a, which is 3a, and 3 times 5, which is 15. Okay, and then from there what you should have done was start solving for a. Now notice I'm going to treat this just the same as if I was solving an equation. I've got an a on both sides, so we need to subtract the 3a from this side. Try to keep it as positive as possible. So usually a good rule of thumb is subtract the lower one, right? Get rid of the lower one. So 3 is in this case the lower number. Okay, so that drops out. I get 4a minus 5 is greater than 15. Okay, and then what you should have done next is add 5 to both sides. Get 4a minus 5 is greater than, oh, nope, we're already past that. So add 5 to both sides. Get 4a. I'm going to move this up here. 4a is greater than 15 plus 5 is 20. And then I need to get rid of the variables. So I'm going to subtract, or divide, or I'm sorry, get rid of the 4. So I have to divide both sides by 4. Okay, so that drops out. Get a is greater than 20 divided by 4, which is 5. Ooh, coincidence. Alright, so again, I'm going to come and graph my solution because this isn't my only solution, right? I need all to represent all of these numbers that will fit in here. Okay, so let's see, we got 0 on the line, and then my important point, which is 5. In this case, okay, this is greater than, okay, no line underneath, so it's going to be open circle or closed circle. Think about that for a second. Okay, it should be open circle, right? Not included in the solution anymore. Okay, so test your 0. 0 is greater than 5. Is that true? No, it's not true. So my line is going to go away from 0. I don't want the 0 anymore. I don't want 0 included in my solution. I want 6, 7, 8, 9, all of those are fine, but we don't want anything less than 5. Alright, so finish the practice for tomorrow's class. Right, have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.